Hello everyone, welcome to this follow-up for Screamadelica by Primal Scream. This was an interesting album. I did not love it completely, but I thought that it had a good portion of good tracks on it and a lot of interesting ideas as well and interesting production. Let's go ahead and go track by track on this thing. As you can see, I have it at about a 3.5. I think it's somewhat consistent. Some tracks are worse than others. Going track by track, I would say, moving on up, it's just a fun, dancey track with a gospel flavor. It's hard not to dig this one. It's a classic as well. Slip Inside, the instrumental is entertaining, but the vocal effect just kind of grates on me a little bit. It just isn't all that enjoyable to me. Hard to explain. Don't Fight It, Feel It has an interesting backing track, but it gets kind of old fast. Doesn't really have much staying power there. Higher Than the Sun is kind of a groovy, down-tempo, 90s sounding kind of track. It stays interesting and doesn't overstay its welcome, so I dig it. Inner Flight is really odd because compared to some of the others here, it does some really interesting, unique things. And I like the dream-like kind of soundscape that it puts out. Come Together would have made honestly like a perfect B-side to Moving On Up. It kind of mirrors it in a sort of B-side kind of way. It's just a fun track that's full of fun moments. Loaded is not a personal favorite, but this track has plenty of chops. I think it just kind of lacks variety, personally. Damaged is a nice understated number here, but Bobby's vocals just don't fully translate to that ballad type song. It sounds kind of like spiritualized a bit, but it sort of misses that mark slightly. But then going into I'm Coming Down, that's where the spiritualized comparison really does land. It's just a nice track, really swells nicely and has some surprising moments as well. It's definitely a highlight for me. And then the Higher Than the Sun Dub Symphony, not entirely sure why this is here, but it's not bad really. It's just kind of too long. It has some interesting moments. And then Shine Like the Stars is a pleasant, bittersweet track to kind of let the album down. Has a nice, was it pump organ? I don't know. Whatever that is, it kind of sounds like an accordion. Is it an accordion? I don't think it is. What is it? Tell me. Either way, nice kind of way to let the album down. So that's how I feel about Screamadelica. Highlights would be Moving On Up, Inner Flight, I'm Coming Down, I would say. Shine Like Stars also has some chops to it as well. It's an album that has good moments, I feel, but the tracks don't fully come together in kind of like no pun intended, come together in any kind of like fully cohesive way. But I can see it as a good, like, I think some people said it's a nice like come down album. Like if you've been kind of out clubbing or something, then like it's a good way to, or were they saying about something else? I can't remember, but there are some tracks here like Inner Flight and I'm Coming Down that definitely have that sort of I'm coming down feeling. So yeah, not bad. Glad I listened to it. And that's all I have for my follow-up on Screamadelica. So thank you all for watching. Godspeed.